Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, I'm Nabila Rizky Aryani, and today we will be talking about a novel that I have read entitled Dawn Demon. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, this book is known as a horror novel book because Peter J. Murray really wrote lots of horror books within his own imagination, and one of his book is called Dawn Demon. Dawn Demon here is a book that I actually read, a whole of them, and I kept reading the novel because it was interesting both in the literacy as well as the imagination and the plots that he put in the book itself of Dawn Demon. The book of Dawn Demon, the characters itself is Billy. Billy is the main character that we'll be viewing throughout all of the novel. The second is Callum. Callum here is Billy's best friend that will also relate towards this book because he tends to come with Billy everywhere Billy goes. And second is Anna. Anna here is the little haunted ghost girl where she is not the antagonist but rather than a protagonist because she's here to help Billy and Callum. The next point is the small sailors, the doll sailors that will be related towards this movie because in fact that doll, even though he isn't a character, he is not alive, but he will be the antagonist of this novel. And the rest is the additional character, which is Billy's mother and family as well as Callum's mother. And so there is also a relation between Billy's uncle that will be relate on this novel. So now we'll get on to the summary and the whole story of Dawn Demon. So beware of spoilers because I have already read the whole novel itself. So first off, the story of the Dawn Demon itself. Dawn Demon seems to be haunted because we know that it's related with demons, or should I say the opposite of angels, right? Because demons is something that tends to invite us to do bad things. And so at this point, the first plot of the story goes where Billy's family as well as Callum's family went on a family trip to the seaside. And so they went and also live in Billy's house. Not really Billy's house, but Billy's uncle house right there that was actually, fortunately, next to the seaside itself. And unfortunately, Billy did not tend to see his uncle at that house because his uncle has already passed away. But there was his uncle's wife, or should I say his aunt there. So then he tends to look around on the house even though it's quite dark, creepy and spooky. But when he saw a frame of his uncle, he did not realize that his uncle was also a sailor of the seaside, that they are in a team but has already been ruined and damaged because we know that their team has failed to go on the seaside. And so Billy tends to go inside of the uncle's house, specifically the uncle's room, but unfortunately it was locked because we know that if someone passed away you cannot go to their rooms because there are still their senses, and we are afraid that there will be some negative power or approaches inside his room. Next off is the Callum itself. So Callum, since he was Billy's best friend, and the next day they tend to go on the beach place. More or less, they then found a doll here that looks very creepy, that smiles at the same time, just like a Joker. So he's so creepy that they did not realize his eyes sometimes moves. And so on other days, they then found a girl named Anna. And here the girl let's replace the girl named Anna because she in fact is a ghost that we have no idea who she is. And so this girl here then tend to take responsibility. This girl here told Billy and Callum, we're in danger, the world is in danger. Why are they in danger? There's this doll here that is going to take over the world because this doll here is possessed by a demon. This doll is actually divided into 7 dolls all around those areas. And so Billy and Callum's duty was to kill and catch all those dolls so that there won't be any harm to other peoples and also definitely the city and the seaside. Now, in this moment, they start to refuse because they know that they're little kids, they don't have certain special powers to save the world. But they then start to realize that their uncle was also a sailor. He needs to find answers. Why is this happening? And so they start to find their doll one by one. But there was another consequences that when they kill one doll, these 6 dolls get stronger. So that the more they kill the dolls until the last doll, the more this doll receive all the power, all the source of the power from the death of the dolls. So with no choices, they finally beat the first doll even though they faced lots of struggles, and there was, well, Billy tends to fall in love with the ghost girl. Fortunately, after the story, the ghost girl thanked them in the sea. The ghost girl said thank you, thank you, thank you, that she was holding her mother's arm and fade away. Billy then have already realized ever since that she was in fact a ghost that was already dead from 1,000 or even trillion years ago. But then he started to realize that it was actually a fun adventure and found out his uncle, and all of this tends to realize to him that they finally saved the world. Even that even if they are still young, they are short, they have no potential. But with a friend and with a support, friend which is Callum, a support which is the ghost girl, that also gave them the task. They then can save the world. So the moral story that I can get from this book is whatever you are, whatever potential, capability, ability, potential, and responsibility do you have, you are still capable enough for a task, for a duty, and for any kinds of request or quest that's given by somebody. Even though that quest requires a higher capabilityness, even if you are not capable enough when you view on the outside, but you will never know until you try. The risk, the consequences, I know is huge, it's ginormous. You'll get killed, you will lose something, you will lose your loved one, you'll lose your, let's say you become disabled, and others, you lose something. But it's all worth to the end. You have the results at the end when you have finished your task, you have finished the quest. Despite being a loser, you have still won from beating yourself. And you are a winner even if you are a loser. So welcome, great future heroes. Please don't let the fear stop you. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it's beneficial for all of us, and I would like to end this by saying Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye!